Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Waking Up Right with Ivory. I'm your host, Ivory Hunter, and today I'm super excited because I have an amazing couple that are joining me today. And I don't call them a regular couple, they are a power couple, but not a power couple that you guys are thinking. All right, the power couple that people put on the media is Jay-Z, Beyonce, people who are wealthy and just they have it all. But my definition of a power couple is two people, two individuals who work on themselves and understand who they are, and they come together and just create magic. And that's who you guys are. You both are individually wonderful. I met Anna initially, and then I met Chris, and Chris is just as wonderful. So I see why you guys are together. So everybody, please help me welcome the lovely actress, playwright, award-winning Anna Khaja, and her amazing, talented writing husband, who's a writer, street photographer, Mr. Chris Rossi. Good morning. How are you guys?
Thank you, Ivory.
Thank you, Ivory. We're so happy to be here. You know, it's nice to just kind of see the whole evolution of you and your show and your platform.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're such an inspiration too, as well. I mean, I bump into you on the street and it's just like a burst of like positivity.
Yeah.
And
it's like, I saw Ivory today.
Always happy to see you, man.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. I'm grateful to hear that. Like I just literally ran into Chris. Was it Valentine's Day or the day before? Yeah. On Valentine's Day, taking care of his beautiful wife, and then the next day I ran into Anna, and I haven't seen neither one of them in like a while. So just to run into you guys the day after the day, it wasn't any coincidence that we're talking right now. It was meant for us to have this conversation. So thank you for dropping by.
That's right.
Our pleasure.
That's great.
All right. So I started Moments with Ivory just to put out love with everything going on with COVID right now. I just wanted to kind of change the point of attraction for all the viewers and focus on some positivity and love and just tools and different things that they can use to escape and grow for what's going on with right now. With right now. So before we get into the questions that I have for that, I want to do a little fun facts because number one, where did you guys meet and how long have you been married?
Oh my goodness. A friend of ours, a mutual friend, had been telling me about this guy, Chris Rossi. And like, this was so long ago that it was back in the day when people still told jokes. We didn't have cell phones to distract us. So he was like, oh, you know, Chris Rossi, he told me the funniest joke last night. And then like, he'd come the next day. Oh, you know, Chris Rossi, right? I'm like, I don't know this Chris Rossi. Well, he said this funny joke. So then finally one day he brought Chris over to my apartment, and I'm gonna say love at first sight.
Wow, wonderful.
I'll second that.
Yeah, genuinely so. And we somehow wound up, it was one of those nights where like, you know, everyone else sort of disappeared after a while, and we just like hung out and talked for hours, and you know, till 4 a.m, whatever it was. And I just remember like he kept it's ridiculous, but he kept trying to like tell these jokes, and I'd be like, and I kept saying the punchline because I'd already heard all his jokes. So it
was long ago, but likewise, I mean, I walked into the apartment and saw Anna, and just this burst of beauty and energy hit me. And I wasn't looking, it wasn't a time in my life I was particularly looking for anyone. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is serious. And we kind of went from there. And it's been a really wonderful mutual partnership, you know, both being artists in different sectors of the business, and just the nurturing of the creativity and everything has been just a very positive upward slope. So I feel very lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I like how, you know, you being a writer, her being an actress, and, you know, so two different parts of the business, but still understanding what it takes to kind of sustain and keep that positive energy going. And so it's great to have that creative energy.
Yeah, and always
for each other.
Always supporting that sacrifice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we understand very much in the other person just how important our creative lives are to us.
Right.
And I think it would be a challenge if for me, if I wasn't with someone who understood that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's just how I'm built, and that's how Chris is. Yeah. It's just really important to us.
And it's not only the moments of coming together. For instance, you know, I might help Anna with an audition, memorization, things like that. Or, you know, she's one of the first people that will read my stuff. but it's also giving each other space, to separate, do our own thing, knowing that we'll come back.
Yep.
So those two poles are really key, I think.
That's really true. Yeah.
That's such a great tip for couples who are in the business. You know what I mean? Really recognizing that you need the space and understanding that, respecting that space, but understanding that you'll come back. When you get I have a question. When you get when Anna gets a role or you sell a script, do you feel just as excited as if you did it yourself?
Absolutely.
Maybe more.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things to do is to watch Anna on TV or in a movie or in a play and be there in the front row. And it's just pure joy. So yeah, very much so. Each other's success is our own success.
Yeah.
And how long have you guys been together? I know you said for years.
23.
23 years?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing. I so love hearing that. And especially in Hollywood, people outside of Hollywood won't understand this, but like 23 in the Hollywood years is like
so
45 years.
Dog years or whatever. Yeah.
In Hollywood years, it's a diamond anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. All right. Who does the most cooking?
I definitely do.
He's the cook.
She's not allowed in the kitchen. my family, I come from a mostly Italian family. My father would cook. I knew my grandmother's cooking, so pastas, sauces, things like that. Then I got into cooking Indian food, which I love. And
the irony, because I'm half Indian, Pakistani, but he does all the Indian cooking, and he has all his spices, his garam masalas, and
wow, go ahead, Chris.
He makes his own curries and all of that. I have no idea how to do it.
It's just good. It's good calming therapy in a way to cut the garlic or, make a salad but you are baking. You're doing a lot of
desserts. Everyone's got their new hobbies because of COVID, right?
Yes.
I've been spending more time in the kitchen, but we did go through like at least a good couple of decades there where if I went in the kitchen and like he heard me start boiling water, all of a sudden he'd be what are you doing?
I'm trying to pull back on controlling cooking aspects, but yeah.
I know that Anna is a Libra, and I understand Libras, and I'm into signs. I just think there's a commonality with things that there's, obviously people are individuals and we grow and we evolve. But there's some similarities. And what is your birthday? But
August 2nd, I'm a Leo.
I knew it. Let me tell you something. Listen. I tell people all the time, I'm a Libra. All right. So Anna and I, when we first met, we got each other. Like we had the same type of mindset, that part, everything.
Late Libras, late in the month Libras, right? Aren't you?
Exactly. You're 29th, I'm 24. And so I have a production company. My partner is a Leo. My dad, who transitioned years ago in 95, was a Leo. So when I moved to LA, it's amazing that like my closest friends are Leos. Like they're like, and it's that connection. It's like a balance. It's like a strength and balance. And my partner and I, we started a company and it's called Leobra, which stands for Leo and Libra combined. Leo, yeah. But anyway, that's you guys. So my new nickname for you guys, Leobra, because you guys had that.
It's so funny you say that because some of the closest people in my life are Libras. My mother was a Libra. Yeah. My father is a Leo. My life is full of Leos and Libras. Make of that what you
want. Then there are no coincidences. And just to see your natural energy, like I can feel it coming off the screen. You know what I mean? You guys generally get each other. You love each other. You respect each other. And it's beautiful. So I'm happy to have you guys as my first couple on this show. Yes.
Really awesome. First couple?
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. With this season. Yes, absolutely. Great. And you and Leobra, team Leobra. All right.
That's perfect.
All right. So let's jump into some tools because ultimately I want the people to get some tips, some tools, some inspiration on things that we can use to help our lives to feel better about ourselves and to grow. Right. So what are your normal daily routines? Do you guys have any things that you do every morning?
Yes,
for sure.
We this is how we've gotten through quarantine with some amount of focus and presence and joy. Mm-hmm. We wake up every morning. We have quite a routine. We wake up every morning. We meditate for 20 minutes.
And this is together.
Yeah, if we're apart, but we typically do it together.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. This is great for couples. This is awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then we do yoga for 20 minutes together.
Just 20 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. And then we do morning pages from The Artist's Way.
It's called Morning what?
Morning pages. And they're from The Artist's Way, which is an incredible book. Ivory, you would go crazy over this book. It's written by Julia Cameron. Hang on.
Okay.
This book has been around for, 25 years at least, 30 years. And it's a 12-week spiritual journey into your own creativity.
Oh, wow.
And finding of your purpose and expression and all of that. And it, it digs up the stuff and it helps you like kind of work through it and just get in touch with what really matters to you. You know, creativity for creativity's sake. And the basis of it is that we are ourselves creations. And therefore our way of giving back to the divine is to be creative. Life is creativity. What you're doing right now, creating this, us creating
Absolutely.
a conversation together and just living into that and making that the priority instead of what we think the demands are of out there or a business or, all that kind of stuff. So, but one of her basic tools is that every morning you wake up and you write 3 pages that you never look at again, but it's like just clearing out the excess, the garbage, the chatter in your mind so you can be clear and focused.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. And I just started doing the morning pages recently, but it's really just about getting up and setting the tone in the morning. Right. And so meditation helps with that. We do Vedic meditation, mantra based, and we started doing that about 3 years ago, twice a day, 20 minutes. We do it in the morning, then in the afternoon before dinner. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'll get up a little earlier than you. COVID's been, the blessing in that sense that you're home. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bed early. Why don't I get up early, get up before the sunrise, do some morning pages, meditate, some yoga, and then moving the body. It's so key. I'll just run for a mile. And then I feel ready and open and kind of charged. But having those rituals are just important. And you can't, and it took me a long time to arrive at that. I mean, I was not that guy. But it's just so important to set those anchors in the morning. So you're just kind of grounded in being, you're focused, and then you can kind of start the day. So,
yeah, I mean, it's not, because sometimes people are like, God, I mean, how do you do it? Or why do you do it? It's because we have to do it because it makes every other moment of the day so much better and so much more livable. And I'm so much more present in it. I think we have the conversation pretty often, like, oh my God, I'm just so grateful for meditation. Oh my God, I'm just so grateful for this. Or like, if I were to just wake up and not do those 3 things, I'd go down pretty fast.
Yeah.
And
what's cool is we have, throughout the day, maybe at the end of the day, we have like a little lifeline we throw each other. If somebody's in a funk, it's like, all right, 5 things you're grateful for, we'll just throw out and then, okay, we'll make a list and that will completely change the mindset. Just but 3 things, 5 things. Oh, you know what? Things aren't so bad. And that just pulls you right out of your head and back into life.
Yeah. Let me say this. I am not supposed to say this because I'm not supposed to be partial, but this is my absolute favorite show so far. And I love my guests. But this is my favorite, because without even asking, you guys are just going into, like, I really feel like just if we were to stop the show right now, it would be powerful already, in my humble opinion, because what you guys are doing, you're sharing, you're being transparent, and you are letting people see the tools that it takes and to really make it as individuals first in this experience. And then as a couple, like I love the lifeline thing later on in the day. And I love what you said, both you guys, about how important it is to really be intentional with every day. I feel the same way. Like if I don't I don't care what's going on in my life. If I stay up to 2:00 in the morning, 3:00, if I'm somewhere else, I have to get up and make sure I align myself, do the work first. And like you said, it sets up the rest of the day for those moments. So such a powerful way to start the day.
What do you do, Ivory? What's your go-to in the morning that you like?
Well, I'm an early bird. I wake up like you. I wake up naturally like 5:30 in the morning every day. Sometimes, like lately, it's been since COVID. It's been like 3:30. So I like to wake up and meditate. I like to meditate and I like to move. So I do a thing. Last year I did 1,000 push-ups every single day, every morning at home. But now this year I cut it to 500 push-ups because I realized that 1,000, it was a mental thing, not necessary. The extra 500 don't really make a difference. It's just the doing it every day. So I meditate. I work out, I move, and I listen to something spiritual. Like you guys just showed the book, like I do things like that, working on myself every day. So it's the same thing. People have different tools, but at the end of the day, it's about really starting your day off with gratitude, right? Like, if we wake up with just gratitude right there, like I love that Oprah Winfrey says, one of her quotes, she says, gratitude unlocks God's grace. And I really feel like it does. When you're grateful and you apply like the laws of relativity, like no matter what you're going through, somebody may be going through 100 times more. And so when you just understand that and you just say, like, if they can make it, and they're going through something worse, I can do it. You know what I mean? So I come from the law of relativity and I come from gratitude every day. So that's why, to me, every day is amazing. It doesn't matter what's going on. Every day is amazing because I'm here for the experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I start my day. And I look at life.
And then you share it with others. You make that a huge part of your day, which just takes it to the next level. I mean, that's the cycle right there. Total fulfillment and purpose fulfillment and living a life fully. Can I say one more thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, because I know firsthand, I happen to be in a place right now and we've built some good habits. And as Chris said, like, it's taken a long time to build those great habits and they are absolute lifelines. But I know what it's like to be in a place where you feel like you can't do that. And one of the quotes that changed my life, and I don't even know who said it first, but I had it up on my desk for a long time, is right action leads to right thinking and feeling. And I think a lot of times people are like, I can't do that. I can't. It's nice, Ivory, that you wake up and do your push-ups and meditate. But I can't, like, I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like doing that today. I don't feel like doing yoga. I don't feel like writing, being creative, painting, pursuing something, or cleaning my house, whatever it might be. And they wait until they feel like it. But the truth is that you can't change how you feel. You have to act. Action changes how you feel. So it's all about cultivating a relationship with that moment where you can say, okay, every part of me doesn't want to do this right now. I'm going to do it anyway, just for 1 minute. And then if you just do it anyway for 1 minute, you'll feel differently after a minute and you'll be able to do the next minute and the next minute. And that's how you change and build the habit.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said that because, because there are people who don't operate like that or don't think like that. And so how do you get that frame of thinking? You got to take an action, and it's just a little step, because that creates momentum, and you feel, once that momentum starts, it starts going in a positive way. So once you take that first step, the momentum definitely picks up. So you guys look beautiful, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out. You're a beautiful couple inside and outside. You're glowing with just love.
Appreciate that.
All right. So usually ask this question individually, but, to when I'm doing my interviews, but now since it's together, if you guys, because I know you guys are individuals, but you guys have a lot of commonalities and think alike in a lot of ways. What would you change if you were a governor, if you guys were president, if you were Biden and Kamala? What's something that you're passionate about? What do we change in America?
It's very strange to me that politicians don't seem to have a long plan. Like nobody talks about, this is what I'd see for the country for 10 years or 20 years. It's always just the next 4 years or until re-election. But I think I would start talking about planning for what society should be in the next 10 or 20. What kind of society do we want? And lean in towards unity, voices for everybody. I guess that's it. I would move people away, move people toward, and it sounds vague, a sense of unity, but it's complicated because business and power and things get caught up in there. So, but I would try to inspire. If you think of the great politicians, or Martin Luther King, or they just had grand visions. So it's like it's time for a big vision, right? Where do we see ourselves as a collective? Can we all unify and and imagine what our future's like. That includes the environment. What kind of world do we want our children to live in? And it just feels like politicians are too short-sighted in that regard. So to answer your question, big vision, big positive vision.
I love that. That's an amazing answer. Absolutely. It's the long term. I think when politicians, and I'm not big into politics, so that's why I like to ask this question to get different perspectives, because I like to personally protect my energy. I don't get into all of that. Mm-hmm. But I do like what you're talking about, like as far as a long-term plan for unity. And it's not just vague or broad. I just think that that's what we need to have. I think everybody comes in with, what can I do, for this 4 years? And it's not totally ego driven, but it could be in a sense, because I want to make my mark. But that point that you made, Martin Luther King, different people that had long-term plans for society, humanity. That's a great approach, Chris. So that was awesome, man. Cool. On anything you want to throw in there?
I don't know if this is political per se, but I guess I just like for them to, in presenting their vision, remind people that giving to others, sharing, spending a certain amount of time of their day or week giving back to society is good for them.
Yes.
Because if we all did that, if we all didn't come from a place of lack, it'd be a very different country right now, and there are just these sort of deserts in America, deserts of, educational deserts, nutritional deserts, economic deserts, places where people just truly do not have access to really the kinds of things that we're talking about right now. You know what I mean? And if there was just more of an exchange, a giving, a going and being of service, even an hour, couple of hours a week, and take our heads out of our phones and doing that, I need to do that more.
Service,
Glad you asked this question.
Service,
yeah. It's good for everyone. It is not a sacrifice.
Yeah, both amazing answers. And Chris, you said the same time I was thinking when Anna said, she started using that metaphor like economic deserts and exactly. Like we're in a situation we are in because we come from a place of lack, and when we can look outside of ourselves, because you have understanding, and you're humble, you're grounded, you come from a place of love, and you do the work, you understand that most people's actions come from a place of lack, a place of unconsciousness. And if we can focus on service and healing, that would definitely make a big difference, because that's where our people act out, because of unconsciousness and because of lack and fear. So yeah, great answers, guys. Great answers.
I mean, you do that naturally. How did you come to that? Have you just always been like that? Or?
Yes. I think I naturally have been. My grandmother, both of my grandmothers, one of them transitioned, one's still living. I'm grateful to have her, but they both were such bucket fillers, and they've always filled my bucket, everybody's strangers' buckets around them. And so I grew up watching them just give love. You know what I mean? So to me, it's all about love, and I didn't have a lot to, I didn't come from a lot, and I never had a lot to give, but what I had to give was love. And that's the most important thing. So I really made that my focus. If I can't give you this, if I can't give you that, one thing I'm going to give you is love. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going to really, that's the thing that we're going to remember, how people make you feel. And I understand that because people in my life made me feel amazing. So that's where I come from on it.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. And last time I interviewed Anna, it's funny. She asked me questions. She shines a light back on me. It's just a natural, I think, person. That's just what you do. And I'm trying to find out stuff from you guys and you're passing it back. You're so giving. I love you guys. All right. So you already gave one book. Are there what vitamins? Because this is where I want to give some viewers, and I don't care if only one person got this and changed their life. That's enough for me. That's why I do this. It doesn't have to be 1 million followers or thousands of people watching. If you guys can change one person's life, you did an amazing thing. And I know you already have, because you did in mine one. Just this interview right now, it lets me know what I'm gonna attract in a couple, in a relationship. You guys are awesome. And I'm not saying everything's perfect, but your perspective is great and you do the work. So I'm really happy to have you guys on here. It's really made my day. Made my day. All right. So let's get into some tips and some tools. any books that you guys, like you already gave one book, any books that you guys have read or are reading, any speakers that you guys listen to on a regular that inspire you, vitamins that you take, any exercises that you do? I'm just throwing it out there. Just go ahead and start.
All right. If you are edging on any kind of diabetes 2 or have any blood sugar issues or want to kind of level out your appetite in a healthy way, I've just learned about something called berberine. It's BERBERINE, and it's a natural, I don't know what, it's a Himalayan salt, some sort of thing, but it is doctor recommended, and it has no bad side effects. It's 100% natural, and it just evens out your blood sugar in a great way. They say that it's a great natural way to kind of stave off any kind of diabetes too. And
wonderful.
Also level out your appetite. If you're like, gosh, I'm kind of eating a little bit more than I should be and eating too much sugar during this time because I'm just sitting around, it really helps.
Where do you get that from? Amazon?
Yep. Sure.
What else? Anything else? Any books or speakers? You have so many.
Go tell them about Sinclair.
Yeah, I mean,
this guy's amazing.
So in terms of, and again, we're all staying home. It's kind of forces you to reflect. So I'm reading a lot, and I've been doing intermittent fasting for the last couple of weeks, which is really, I'll eat only between the hours of 12 and 8. Took a couple of days to adjust to that, but my body seems to regulate.
You've been doing it for a couple of months.
Yeah, I don't need to. It's funny, if you cut down a little bit on eating, you're always on the little edge of hunger. My mind is a little clearer. So that's been really helpful. I read a book by the Australian Dr. David Sinclair. I think he teaches at Harvard, Why We Age. It's full of great tips about, he takes resveratrol. I started doing that, a gram a day, NMN. So that with intermittent fasting has been really great. It feels really hardcore, but actually it isn't, it's good to let the body regulate and fast a little bit. So that's been helpful. In terms of books, man, we spend time, we read the Bhagavad Gita together. Yeah. Anything from like the great teachers from the past, like even if you're just like, keep one of those books cooking by your bedside, man, just open it up, read a verse or two, that mindset of those sages, it does, the Dhammapada, anything, just even saying those words aloud or reading them, even unconsciously will spark something or kind of live in you.
The Bhagavad Gita, the Tao Te Ching.
Yeah.
And
any of that stuff.
Anyone, you pick those up, these will instantly change your mindset. It'll just connect you to something greater than yourself in the most beautiful way.
The single best exercise, I think, is meditation, and in whatever form anyone wants to do it. Just quieting your mind for 15 or 20 minutes, no phone, your thoughts quiet. To just live in that space is just blissful. And even if your thoughts are got a million thoughts, it's okay. They'll quiet. That's probably my biggest recommendation.
Stay in it. You just stay in it. Just stay in it. That's so. I totally agree with you, Chris. That meditation has been life changing for me.
Yeah, you meditate for the rest of the day, not for the meditation itself
right.
necessarily. If you happen to like reach some sort of bliss while you're in the meditation, that's amazing. But it's about how you feel afterwards.
Yeah. It slows those emotional reactions. I remember when I started meditating, like I wasn't so quick to anger. In the car, if somebody cut in front or something, you're just in a place of presence. We have a little separation between yourself and your emotions and your actions, and you just start making better choices. So,
and also I think like with meditation practice that a little bit of joy just starts creeping in the day, like I remember when I first started meditating, I was like, oh my God, like I'm kind of just happy to be alive. When's the last time I felt that?
Right.
Without meditation, I definitely never felt just happy to be alive. Wow. And I know a lot of people say that like, well, I'm just not one of those people that can meditate. I can't stop thinking. And I think that's the biggest lie or the biggest deterrent for people regarding meditation is that they're somehow supposed to stop their thoughts. And one of the things that I remember our meditation teacher said to us is like, your heart's job is to beat, your lungs' job is to breathe, your brain's job is to think. You will be thinking. Like you can't shut your brain off. Like that, your brain thinks.
Right.
It's just about while your brain thinks, maybe you can kind of your organism can quiet. Maybe you can focus on something else a little bit more. Keep just gently bringing the focus to a mantra or to your breath or whatever. I mean, there's so many different types of meditation and they're all great. So
Well, thank you so much. Like literally, I am so full today. Like I teach later on today. My kids are gonna be like, "You even happier today, Ivory." Like it's amazing.
Vitamins have you been taking? Yeah, right.
Right. It's such a great way to start today. I appreciate you guys stopping by and just sharing your heart, your mind, your love. I appreciate you so much.
Always good to see you.
thank you, Ivory. Wait, we gotta put our hats on.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at you guys, you're amazing. Chris, and make sure, and I'm what is your Instagram? I know it, so I'll type it up there, but I know you're an amazing street photographer. So where can people follow you guys on your social media?
I'm at CF Rossi on Instagram, CFROSSI.
And I'm at Anna Khaja, ANNAKHAJA. My first and last name.
You guys are amazing. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.